Gamers, one and all. We're here. My hair's cut. And so is Melania's face. We did it. We took out Melania. We finished the Erdtree. Absolutely beautiful, 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 beautiful fight. I've also wandered around all of the areas that I'm pretty sure I can get to. I don't know how to get over here, if there is such a way to get there, but I think that's okay. I think I'm okay feeling like I'm not going to reinvestigate that for now. Now, as we were starting here in the Yellow Annex Tunnel, which I've not cleared, you know, we were working our way up, and lo and behold, we found a teleporter yesterday. And I am so pleased to say that it turns out this bizarro tower that I could see from afar, from way over here in my favorite area of the game, the Shifa River Valley, and then later from Nokron Eternal Gateway. Eternal Gateway? What the fuck? Nokron Eternal City. I could see this thing, and I just never knew how to get here, never knew how to get here, never knew how to get here. And holy shit, we got there. Literally, that teleporter brought us all the way over there. So, what is on the docket for the day? Well, first of all, we found another secret path into Deeproot Depths from the Frenzied Flame prescription. So I'm going to do Deeproot Depths today. We're standing on top of one of the big towers because I have enough of the big Roonies. Oh, actually, before I forget, where is this? You know, we've done all the various people, places, and things in terms of killing all these great monsters, the great demigods. But I need to pop off to the isolated Divine Tower, light that up. Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet you if I line myself up. Oh, it doesn't line up. Doesn't quite point in that way. Oh, well, that's fine. I'm not 100% certain that this isolated Divine Tower is related to Melania. I assume this isolated Divine Tower was going to be connected to Crumbling Far Missoula. But I mentioned at the end of last stream that I was going to check it. Alright, I mean, it is Melania. So we're going to light this, and then we're going to go straight into Deeproot Depths. This is kind of why I thought that maybe it would be over there, you know what I mean? Now, I briefly have glanced over, and I see Fanavari copy-pasting our spoiler reminder. Yeah. So, we have played this playthrough with no backseating. Huh, how do you get there? Oh, there's lots of places where you can get to, huh? Wow. Who would have thought? We've done this with no backseating at all. No suggesting, no spoiling, no nothing. And I'm just going to play through. And if you have something that you really want me to know, that you really think that it's important that I know, keep it to yourself. Oh, look at this view. Dude, for any who didn't see it, you can actually go all the way down there. And dude, I actually went to the edge of Garank's place to try to get a good view, because a lot of times I'll begin the stream by going to a place like this and being like, alright, let's kind of check this thing out. And as I was wandering, I saw a tree root and just started, you know, just chatting about something. And then we started to work our way down. It's so good. Lania's Great Room. Attacks recover hit points after damage is taken. Okay, so that thing's not the best. And wait, do we actually have all the demigod? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. I thought there were only 6. Okay, so never mind. As it turns out, I'm wrong! So the place that we can get to must be up here somewhere. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna go... Actually, we're gonna go to the Frenzied Flame prescription and dig our way deep. Ethernet says, it's funny how good the Great Rune of the Weakest Shardbearer is. Yeah, it's... 3D Res says, hey, thank you for that rant. For any of you who are watching on YouTube, we went on a massive rant before this. It says, I type things that often sound good in my head, but when I see it instead, I think, wow, that sounded really dumb. You truly are intelligent. Oh, no, I don't think it was dumb at all. I think it was a really interesting question that begot a really fun conversation. So anyways, we're down here in the Frenzied Flame prescription, and I have no idea how to open that thing, that door over there. But given that we're on a quest for a great flame, that seems pretty cool, huh? Seems like a pretty cool thing, get that flame rolling there. So here, we rolled against a wall, it opened up the wall. There was a chest, I rolled the wall behind the chest, and it opened up a path to Deeproot Depths. Which is where we're going to begin our journey. Root facing cliffs. Isn't that sick? I would say this felt like a little bit of luck, but it more felt like... Dude, I mean, the fact of the matter is, the way that we are consistently finding areas again and again and again in this game... Alright, so I actually do want to be up there. The way we keep finding areas again and again and again in this game is we just open up the map and we review all of the places we've been to and all the places we want to go to and how we're thinking about things. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do it. There we go. Ethan says, I thought I completed Leyendell in my playthrough, but you have so many more grace points than I ever saw. Yeah, Leyendell was really, really, really dense to try to get through. Oh, shit. So here's the Great Waterfall Crest. And there's just waterfall just like right here, just spilling off into nothingness. And there it is, way the fuck down there. That's so sick. Oh, I hate this throw. Dude, I'm pretty yoked though. Alright, Rune Arc. Good stuff. Do I actually have my rune activated? Yeah, exactly. Sonic Raptra's real question: did you ever find the Frenzy Flame entrance to this place? Sonic Raptra, allow me to make that today's perfect example of the most spoiler-rich fucking question you could have possibly said ever. Now, incidentally, yes, that's where we're coming from right now, right? But Sonic Raptra, again, like, I mean, Velen says you're on thin ice. No, you literally, you fucked up badly, but just got really lucky. I mean, that might be the prime example of, like, the worst possible, most spoiler-rich question you could have asked. Come on, man. Did he discover the secret entrance that's right over here? What if the answer was no? I wander over there. Oh, yeah, cool. That was a cool entrance there, huh? Sonic Raptra says, my bad. Trying to use proper nouns. You wouldn't know if you hadn't found. What you say, like, the Frenzy Flame entrance to this place. I mean, yeah, no, like, again, the entrance from this place to that place, that's not proper nouning, you know? Alright. I deserve this. Did Dan remember how to get to the isolated tower? Yeah. I was running through my head last time, and I was like, where? It was from in Landale somewhere. There's a teleporter. All right, yeah, Divine Bridge. You killed me with this question. This death is on your hands. They'll run mark a death from Sonic Raptor. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, the spoiler-free question is, yeah, how did Day 9 get to this place? Always do backwards-looking questions. Always backwards-looking. The only forwards-looking question you can ask is, has Day 9 been to blank? And if there's any non-proper nouns, like if you say Farum Azula, that's great. But if you say, has he been to Farum Azula, way out east, you're fucked. If you say, has he been to Yellow Annex? Yeah, that's great. Has he been to the Yellow Annex cave that is in the consecrated snowgrounds? Or snowfields? Yeah, that's bad. So as always, today, you'll all do me the kind favor of timing out, calling out issues, problems, concerns in this regard. Yeah, it's the consecrated snowplows. Final death count to Melania, it was 89. Sonic Raptor says, I shall speak only in day rope now. There it is. Alright. Shit. Get back up here. Huh, this is interesting. Hypox says, has Day 9 been to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty? You see, you reference girls and grass? Nah, those are not proper nouns. Let's go ahead and get yourself banned from chat permanently. Formic Rock. Thrilled to see it. I don't know why I like this fact, but formic acid is found in the bites of ants. Look at this. Look, this is fucking incredible. Converted Cause, what happens if you don't beat the game today? Will you finish it off stream? No. We're finishing this game on stream. We're just going to keep going. I wasn't expecting to have 2 full days devoted just to playing against Melania. Oh, shit. I didn't see that. All right. That's going to be a tricky one to get to. I'm not entirely sure how to make my way over to there. I'll proceed with the assumption and or understanding that I just keep sticking to various high grounds. Looking carefully before I dip, but we should be able to get somewhere. Okay. I'm actually not entirely sure how to get up there. I mean, I'm really curious. Oh. Index says, really your comment about finding the secrets easily. Do you think they designed secret areas to be found? I wonder if there was a secret that was too hard to find in playtesting, so they made it easier to find or something. Yeah, okay, so I have some really strong opinions about this because I'm in a ranty mood, which makes my opinions even stronger. So there's a thing about content in games, and you can see this discussion, I think, most prominently in the in World of Warcraft, and just the design decisions and aesthetic. Very well. I thought that I could make it. And it is this. What percentage of content should all the players get to experience? Like, just take a moment and ruminate on this. What percentage of content in single-player-like experiences should all the players get to experience? And notice I said get to, not opt into. Because obviously, if someone picks up the game, plays it for 8 hours, and says, well, I have kids and a job, so I'm not really going to get the chance to play this much more, and that's okay with me, right? Like, there are obviously situations where you can go in this vein. But nice. Path through the death thing. So probably go up on these rocks here. And, you know, World of Warcraft very deliberately made a decision that pretty much everyone should get to experience all the content. I mean, there are certainly some high-level areas and stuff that, like, you know, need to be high-level to get to, but, like, everyone should be able to get to high-level. Yeah, how in the fuck do you actually get there? Am I gonna have to do a mad spill? Oh, I should make the jump from here. Okay. Great. Yeah, World of Warcraft leaned heavily into everyone gets to experience all the content. Oh, it's Golden Rune 8. So freaking excited. And I feel like this is a really interesting question to ask, because let's just start thinking of this from different perspectives. What if we were making a single-player game, and we said, what percentage Bunny says, yeah, I don't know if I agree with everything being made to be accessible in WoW. I played it solidly for the first 4 expansions. There were entire zones I never went to because they were Horde zones, and I was an Alliance player who wasn't in PvP. Sure. Sure. Now, I want to stress the difference between, do I have the ability to experience it? As in, could you just create a Horde character and go to those zones? Yeah. Like, or for instance, in Dota, how long will it take for me to master all the heroes? Oh my god, so fucking long. Take me forever, right? But if I want to play any hero, I just select a hero and I'm playing it, right? An example of not everyone gets to experience all the content is not, well, I think that it would be hard to do that. You know, to master that. So I think that there's some difficulty there. Imagine if Dota said, you are disallowed from even getting to play Invoker unless you have an account that's in the top 100. And imagine if, very literally, that's what it was. People would be like, I don't get to play that. That's too hard. Oh my god. That's unfair. That's too obtuse. Robo Blake says, great interview with Zombie Grove. Robo Blake, I saw you tweet it. I retweeted your tweet, Robo Blake. Thank you so much. And good to see you. Happy 94 months. So again, like, what have I done so far? I've just posed the question, what percentage of content should a player get to experience in our game? And then as one additional step, we ask ourselves the question, oh wow, this comes all the way here, and then it's going to snake back this way. Incredible. Incredible. That must be this branch here, huh? Still wonder how I get up there. So I've posed a question and I've formed some definition, right? That's all we've done so far. But let's actually ask ourselves a question. Why would we want some content to be like Millennium? Why would we even want that? And the answer is, you know, there's some positive things that can come out of this kind of experience, which is like, it creates a sense of mystery, it creates a sense of scope and scale that, like, my god, if you are playing World of Warcraft, and you need to have a character that has 4,000 hours of experience, or 4,000 hours of levels in order to play this area. Well, I mean, I guess technically I could experience it, but I don't have that sort of time. Oh my gosh. So in early World of Warcraft days, a lot of people are getting to experience a lot of the content. But you know, there started to be raids where you really had to be very skillful and coordinated with a very large group of people who were all very high level just to beat Phase 1 and Phase 2 and get to the sweet fight at the end of Phase 3. And there was some really interesting discussion in 2005, 6, 7, 8 about, you know, hey, no, this sucks. I feel like you've made this really cool boss, and I never get to see it. Fuck. That's not fun. That's not fair, you know? And that is the first time. That was the first time that I saw this discussion really emerge in a huge, substantive way in gaming communities, was around WoW. Because, I mean, that game fucking was absolutely bonkers. I mean, it's insane, just the sheer amount of people who never played games before who played WoW and got into WoW and met their spouses in WoW and all the insanity people talk about all the time. I see. So if I come from this high area, I can walk up this way, fall down to here probably. So... It might be accessible through this area. That would be my presumption. So I want to stress, I'm bringing up WoW because it's a really good example of a game where there was a lot of conversation and discussion. It's a great example of this. How much of the content should everyone get to experience? But let's just imagine. Let's imagine for a moment that we wanted to create an MMO that had a lot of mystery and a lot of difficulty and a lot of challenge. And there was like a 8-hour-long gauntlet that you have to complete the gauntlet to be able to cross the bridge and go to the other side. We are way fucking up here, aren't we? There'd be a bunch of people who are like, I don't want to do an 8-hour gauntlet to go see that other stuff. Just let me see the other stuff. You know? And if we look at the history of game development and the types of conversations that wind up happening, in a lot of early game dev, dude, early game dev was fucking hilarious. During the era of like Sega Genesis and CD-ROMs just coming out. Because you'd have shit where you'd go, hey, give me some money, and I'm going to make a platformer that's just like Mario, but I'm going to combine it with this TV show. So we're going to make Real Monsters, the platformer. The company would go, here's $10 million. And 9 months later, they would just fucking hand them the game, and then it would get marketed, and then they'd pump it back into another game. Right? The whole notion of game reviews, game quality, game evaluations... I mean, it was in such an incredible infancy. I mean, it's fucking hilarious, is what it is. And here is where we spawned from. Pretty sick, right? I'm actually going to go check this place out first. So... And so, a lot of the games that were made earlier on had a lot of mystery and secret, challenge and stuff to it. And I don't want to suggest that it is because people back then had a different sentiment to them, but rather, in modern game development, you wind up with someone who's like an executive producer or a producer who's looking at the budget. And imagine if you said, hey, I have an idea. What if we made an entire enormous underground area called Deeproot Depths that's fucking really hard to find and is completely optional? You can imagine the money person going, dude, how about we don't fucking do that at all, please? Let's just not do that. And let's let everyone experience all the content, shall we? Well, I want to find one secret area. Look, just make a sort of hidden spot that if they find, they get a power-up. And that way, how much work did it take to make that hidden spot that has the power-up? It maybe cost 2 people 1 day to implement. Done. 2 people, 1 day to implement. Which is way different than this. This area did not take 2 people 1 day to implement. And so, like, I mean, if you look at the way... Alright. Oh, I don't know this guy's moveset very well. There we go. So there's actually one very simple point that I'm trying to make. Which is, of course, as always, it's simple points. It'll take me like half an hour to make it. Some point I'm trying to make is that in the early days, You didn't have a producers and EPs saying, no. Don't spend all those resources making something secret. It'll get better reviews if there's not shitloads of awesome content that we spent a ton of work on that people don't see. It's a better product, you know. And I mean, in almost any other way, in any other product, like if we're making a phone, like there'll be a ton of hidden features that no one will be able to figure out, and it'll be a really exciting surprise for them when they do. Producers like, no, let's just create a menu that explains what all the features are, okay? And so, especially I feel like in the mid-2000s, or not mid-2000s, like late 2000s, early 2010s, you started to see a real removal of big secrets, secret areas, hidden content, stuff that was so difficult you need to get good enough just to be able to access the content. Things like stuff that would take an unusually large amount of time to get to, or would have a bunch of difficult mechanics or hidden pieces of information that you'd have to learn in order to unlock the area. All that stuff was done away with in favor of the classic open world adventure style guidance. The classic open world style guidance. Nice. We're in the open world game. Everything's on the map. An arrow flies out of your head telling you not just where to go, but how to navigate to there. And so, you know, this comes back to the original question that I was posing. Gotcha. It comes back to the original question that I was posing. What percentage of content should all players get to experience? And I think it's a really interesting question. And how do you even think through the answer to that? And I think that this is one of the more brilliant ways of... Well, I should say FromSoft basically says... We're going to create a whole bunch of optional areas. Areas that are... You know, lots of weird obfuscation and wonder and mystery. But, I mean, a lot of it is just not that complicated, right? Like, so for instance, here's the Dragonburnt Ruins. And here there's a chest. It teleports you to the Celia Crystal Tunnel right here. You know how hard it is to actually get to the Celia Crystal Tunnel? Honestly, you eventually just fucking walk there. Right? There's things like that where it takes some difficulty and it also takes some time. It's not like you gotta be some sort of god for a lot of the content. And there's something really interesting about the way that FromSoft has constructed this game, where because there's just so fucking much content, and it feels like there's mystery and intrigue and bizarre twists and interesting drama all over the place. It's almost like if you took a regular game and hid some really important content, it would feel like there was a gap. But if you create a game like this where there's so much content fucking everywhere, and literally, if you explore anything in this game just says, yeah, there's just stuff to be found all over the place. Like, in a second, when I am not about to die, am I still gonna rebuild? Like, if you had one big hidden area, you can imagine someone complaining. I don't really like that. I didn't like that one area was hidden. If you have two hidden areas, yeah, I mean, kind of the same thing. But if most of your game feels like you're constantly discovering hidden areas, which is what this game does, it leans so far into this idea of secrecy and hiddenness and stuff like this that, you know, it's one of the more common things that I have heard as I've been broadcasting. People go, holy shit, I've never been here. Where is this? That's one of the reasons why I find this game so compelling. Like, this little cave, I had no idea this fucking cave was here. I was spending time looking for this other entrance. And you'll note that's probably where this is going to pop out. Why was I looking for it? Because the game has trained me. Hey, look for weird shit. What are some examples of some crazy hidden things? Well, first of all, right here is a teleporter that if you go into, it brings you all the way to Garunk. There is a really easy-to-miss cave right here that says Earthbore Cave that you actually go around here, and there's this barely visible little area that you can move down. This is where I fought my first room bear. There is this tunnel that I walked by, like, I must have walked by this a ton of times, because I found this way late, and holy shit, Church of Dragon Communion. Incredible. This abandoned cave, the way to get here is you wander all the way here, and there's some root branches extending across this extremely long chasm. And if you carefully dance around there, there's a cliff, or there's a cave sticking right out of the cliff. It's incredible. You know, there's another area over here. Oh, yeah. There's Jarberg, where there's just a bunch of fucking jar pals down here. It's fucking insane. There is this huge cave underneath here. It says Cathedral of the Manicelis, that's above, but underneath is the village of the Albinorix. There is this huge grand lift of Dectus. And I found this ruin-strewn precipice and made my way up this way and found this, like, whole fucking area here. There is this little tiny, let's see if I can see it right there. There is an almost impossibly easy to miss well with a very hard to see ladder. And if you go down there, that leads to the underground roadside, which then leads to the Forsaken Depths, which then leads to the Cathedral of the Forsaken, where you fight Mog the Omen, which then leads to the Frenzied Prescription, which leads to here. This game has this pattern of anytime you start looking, you find something. Anytime you start looking, you find something. And I think that this allows the game to let you put in more insane and varied and obscure and obtuse secrets that only, you know, 10% of your player base will discover. Because there's one shared experience that your whole player base is having, which is, holy shit, there's so much stuff here. How will I ever experience all this content? Oh my gosh, there's just so much. And that creates this sense of amazement and incredibleness. Again, if it turns out there was some sort of key path that, oh, you didn't go down that, well, you actually didn't get the true ending. There's a bad ending and there's a good ending. You got the bad ending. Yeah, it sucks, man. Sorry. That doesn't feel good. So I think that when it comes to these kinds of secrets, FromSoft has been incredibly astute. Ah, I see. That's where they all came from. I'm wondering. Alright. Fires of slumber, go! I don't know why it's not letting me target these. You guys not climb walls? You want me to believe that you are hanging upside down from the ceiling? And yet you can't fucking be bothered? To climb up this wall and fight me? Kind of messed up. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. And, let's see, who made this point? Bocab says there's also usually more than one way to get to an area, so whichever way you find it feels awesome, but it's more likely than it appears. Yeah. I think these are terrific points. Who said crafting wasn't it? See, I think that FromSoft has done a magnificent job thinking about how to intelligently make like, you know, all these different types of senses of mystery and oh my gosh, how do you get there? What's up with that? Oh, what the hell? And it does it in such a large quantity that I think it actually more than overcomes. I think it more than overcomes the frustration of not being able to find an area. I mean, frankly, if you're not sure how to get somewhere, you just, like, look it up. But, I mean, literally, it doesn't matter how much you look up. You're going to stumble across shit and go, oh my god, I discovered it. That's amazing. I think that there's also another model of, you know, thinking about the game, which is that, like, dude, you know what? Ow. There's ways that players think about multiplayer games. There's a lot of ways that people think about multiplayer content. Or, for instance, classes. Like, oh yeah, no, we have, whoops. Yeah, we have, like, you know, 5 classes in our game. And our expectation is that players will pick one that they think is cool. We want to make sure that that experience is cool. And if you don't pick the other 4 classes, you know, it's fine. Who cares? It's not a big deal. And intuitively, we all go, yeah, that's fine. Not everyone has to do all the stuff. And FromSoft seems to also do that with a lot of mechanics and content. Because, I mean, and it's kind of funny because I also feel this... I also feel this way a lot of times when I play multiplayer games. Where I'm like, oh, sweet, yeah. You know, I've never played Troll Warlord. I think that's really cool that Troll Warlord is in this game. And someone who wants to play that can enjoy that, and there you go, and that's fine. Like, the crafting in this game has, by and large, been, like, absolutely Elden Stars. Fuck yeah. Oh, what am I talking about? What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah. Like, I think that the, oh, shit. I thought I just plummeted to my death. The crafting has been mostly irrelevant. And just then, I was like, man, how do I get out of this puzzle? Actually, oh, shit. Oh, I should do that. Ooh. Let me get some of my sweet-ass little fire pots going here, huh? Where's my clickety-clackety guys? Alright, I think I've pretty much explored all the stuff here that I want to explore. How'd Sean get here? I got here in 2 ways. One of the ways is... way back in Nokron, this where it says the Great Waterfall Basin. If you look at this Great Waterfall Basin, there's some sites of grace that are just sites of grace, and other ones have this beam emitting out of them, which I think many people recognize famously from the very start of the game, right? Where it's like, go this way, fucking go that way, go this way, right? And it just guides you in. And, you know, a lot of what's going down with Liurnia, like, I mean, there's just all these fucking arrows that point to shit, and I actually didn't even realize that this was pointing here. Still don't know how to get up to here. But bridges like this always make me curious, because this is where there is a teleporter. This also signaled to us in a big way that there was another piece of content this way, right? This connected over here. This enormous bridge connected to this area, which you eventually were able to get through from the 4 belfries. But anyways. I got here because in Nokron, when I killed the twin gargoyles, this had an arrow pointing out of it, so I started to scout around, and I found a coffin. And if I recall from Dark Souls 1, you get into the coffin, sequence happens, cool stuff occurs. And then this, Great Waterfall Crest, is where you get teleported to. Now, the second way that I found in here was that there was a cave. I literally just came out of this cave here. That's where that diamond was that I saw. And I thought to myself, hey, look at this. Frenzied Flame Prescription is pretty close to this cave. So I started trying to see if there was maybe an alternate entrance in. And it turned out that that was not a connecting point, but it connected to a different part of Deeproot Depths. That's my story. The long and short of it is, I did it through Morbin. So, when I initially got to this area, I did 2 things. Run to find a site of grace across here as quickly as possible. And 2 was find a map as quickly as possible. So what I'm now here to do is to take my time. Second State 9, dropping by to say love your content. Mainly watching on YouTube, but glad to watch you live. Was thinking of watching your Bloodborne playthrough after this game is completed. I only have 2 bosses left in that game. Oh. Famed Orphan of Kos that I almost 2-shot. And the Moon Presence. Man, that game rules as well. Let's take day 9 for a Morbert. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is I'm not gonna watch that garbage. Well, not unless I'm with my wife. Because here's the thing. Watching absolute fucking garbage content with a loved one is awesome. Deadmine says, how many bosses do you think you have in Elden Ring? Do you mean, like, how many bosses I personally have taken down, or how many bosses I believe that the game actually has? If you know the answer to how many there are, don't say, because I'm still going, but I think we've done, maybe 200, 250 bosses. How many more bosses to go? Well, I assume Crumbling Fire Missoula has a boss. Oh, 122. Brilliant. Thanks, Valorant. I assume that there is a boss by this flame that's in the mountaintops. We got some more caves. So, I don't know. 20? 30? Like, not a big deal. We're gonna crush it. Hey, question gamers. Question gamers, how many calories do you burn standing for an hour versus sitting for an hour? I'm curious because I've just been incidentally standing because my left hamstring is, it's just a little, it's out of sorts. I like describing it as a sort of frazzled party member instead of like a slightly sprained muscle. So I've just been standing. All crestfallen. This audience may not know the answer to that. Little Bobby Table says, stand 100 to 200 calories. Sitting 60 to 130. Come on, babies. Whoa! To save our Mother Earth from any alien attacks, from vicious giant insects. Math Hole says, one study showed that adults who weigh 143 pounds burn 0.15 more calories a minute when standing versus sitting. If you stand for 6 hours per day instead of sitting, you burn around 54 additional calories. While this may not seem like much, it adds up to 5.5 pounds per year. There it is! D9, how did you lose all that weight? I just fucking stood there. Incredible! Certainly remember to like and subscribe. Whoa! Yeah, Faulty Wires. This is a great question. Faulty Wires says, and how many more calories do you burn if you're a fat piece of shit? Yeah, that's the question for me. That's the question for me. Formic rock, formic rock, formic rock. Sonic Raptors is aside from burning calories, since our bodies are not built for being static, periodically changing between sitting and standing is really good for us in comparison. You know, I want to be honest. When I saw WALL-E, and in that movie, there's like a bunch of fucking people that just gain weight, drink soda, and sit around watching TV all day, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, humanity made it. They bailed on Earth, which, by the way, let's be real, trash planet. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, like, talk about a dream come true. Harscout says, how about speaking more versus less per day? Yeah, I probably burn 2,000 calories a day just fucking talking. Goodness. Voice of the Plebs is starting to sound like Musk. You know, if any person, place, or thing starts getting talked about enough, my attitude is just like, we have to ban it here. It has to be banned. I need a break from these things. Because lately, let me tell you, like, okay, so I have this loop that I do. Okay, I have a loop. Let me tell you about my loop. So I'm gonna go like this. So I have this loop, except Morbius. Yeah, Morbius is fucking great. Here's the loop. Let me walk you through this. So what I do is I say to myself, all right, let's see what's in the news. After, well, depending upon when it is, but lately it's about 15 seconds. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Get me out of here. And to be very, very precise, there is... when the news event occurs that's important to stay tuned into and informed about, I'm talking some amount of time after where I get on the news, and you can just imagine some person who's in charge of the numbers being like, we need to find the most awful take on this that we possibly fucking can. We need someone who has gone through the coping process and is okay with this, with how they feel, and have come at peace and are, you know, or have come to terms with and are at peace with, oh, that was a real tragedy, I've gotten through it. How do we get that person to get re-traumatized? You know what I mean? Like, that's the news. So what I tend to do is I tend to be like, all right, I'm no longer getting informed about things. I'm getting someone just trying to make me feel upset. And there's already plenty of reasons to feel upset. There's also plenty of reasons to feel happy. In particular, the news is like, they're not going to know what to do unless I figured out a way to devastate. I fucking hate that shit. So you know what happens? I find some different piece of content to consume. Some different piece of content. Like, hey, let me read about game development, right? When I say read about game development, I like to get real specific. Like, how do you build an inventory system that works on mobile? I have no interest in making an inventory-driven game, nor do I have any interest in making a mobile game, but how does that work? I want something to stimulate and consume my brain. And then, all of a sudden, it's just turned into, like, these videos where people are just like, you know, like, especially YouTube. Like, I don't know who the fuck is in charge of that algorithm on YouTube. I don't know what happened. But I'll be like, what is the technical way to implement a, you know, a really efficient data structure for the purpose of trying to manage this kind of thing? And then YouTube's like, here is a story of someone who quit their job to work on an indie game. It didn't work, and their wife left them. And I'm like, what are you doing, YouTube? Get out of here. So then I'm like, all right, well, let me just go read about technology. Let me just read about some interesting, cool technologies, right? That's like, I mean, this is like really outside of my field of interest, study, and knowledge. Yeah, what are some technologies that are getting developed? And it's just like, did you know Elon Musk said a thing and did this with a person, and we kind of think he's a piece of shit? And I'm just like, oh my god. And that you would not believe what Elon Musk did today, you know? I mean, it's almost like someone is just being like, dude, we go visit Charles Manson in prison every day, and we collect 100 quotes, and we're going to make a calendar out of them. Like, what's the point? Shifty says, oh, and also here's a video from a Nazi. What is that? What is that? I watch a lot of game content. And it's like, you're definitely going to want to watch this video about how slavery in America was actually about states' rights. And I'm like, holy shit! Just like, what is going on? And I know that I've sort of dipped into the, like, hey, no politics, or trying to avoid stuff. But again, and some of you were saying, yikes. Yeah, I didn't want to watch the video. I clicked that. I'm like, not interested. Like, I'm telling you, I'm having this experience where it feels like every single place that I go to that has content, all those bits of content keep getting polluted by someone who's like, you're not going to believe how fucking horrifying this is. And I'm just like, dude, there are so few content creators that are just like talking about something in a flat, neutral manner. I want my neutral, bland shit again, please. Like, man, let me tell you. You know what is You know, it is an absolutely spectacular YouTuber. You know, there's an absolutely spectacular YouTuber, a Gadmator, chess YouTuber. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna click on it, and he's gonna go, "Hello, everyone." And at some point, he's gonna talk about how it's a completely new game. You know? And he'll say like, B6 is coming. It's fucking fantastic. You know who's a great YouTuber? 2-Minute Papers. 2-Minute Papers. With Dr. Karoy Jean-Yves. Fucking amazing. All he does is talk about interesting developments in machine learning, graphical technology, algorithms, and so on. It's incredible. Ghost in the Shell's talking about, you know, is there amount of privilege and things being bland enough, not having to think about bad stuff? Here is, I think, an important take on this Ghost in the Shell. What you'll never get me to say is, I don't want to read the news. I don't want to hear about any bad things. I don't want to try to fix tragedy or deal with the world or deal with the problems. You'll never get me to say that. The problem I have is the idea of all of these sources are trying to get you, the individual, to not be disciplined about it. About exercise, right? If I want to get in shape, right? Let's say I want to get fucking ripped and power hot, right? I'm going to need to lift some weights. And then, very critically, I need to go home and rest. Okay? And then I go back to the gym again, do stuff, and then I go back home and rest. And, yeah, Ghost in the Shell, I was literally about to make a very similar joke. It feels like certain sites are not trying to provide me with information. They're trying to become time vampires and suck all the time out of me. And this is why I have this sort of, I mean, frankly, it's a little fucking bizarre feeling sometimes, where it's like, hey, we are not going to talk about a lot of things and issues and news bits that are super important that I follow closely, and this sort of thing. We're going to deliberately try to create some structured breathing room where we're just talking about this video game and stuff, you know? And I think that that's really, 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 really important. Shit. I think that's really, 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 really important to have discipline and structure and attention and focus on things. If you are trying to get good at a skill, don't do it 18 hours a day every single day, or you'll just burn yourself out and you will sabotage your ability to do that skill. You know what's an issue I care quite a lot about? Homelessness in Los Angeles. How there are certain policies that are put in place that are... It's almost created this industry around it. And I just don't think there's enough support. And if I worked 18 hours a day every single day, I would become physically unable to do more at some point in time. And I would sabotage my actual long-term goal of trying to help. Allocate flasks. Yeah, I'll go 9 to 5. I think it's very, very, very important to be disciplined about carving out your structure of your time for things. If I am at the gym, I'm at the gym just exercising and that's it. Not that I've been to the gym recently, but that when I go to the gym, that's the thing that I'm doing. If I am trying to learn a skill, I don't have social media open, I don't have notifications open, I'm not doing any of that. If I am out to dinner, hanging out with my wife, I am there, I'm not texting or fucking around or trying to multitask. That's the only thing that I'm doing. If there's a bit of news that I'm trying to digest and process, that's the thing I'm going to focus on. That I'm going to think about, that I'm going to give attention to. When it comes to certain, you know, values, or rights or movements that I care a lot about, I carve out time and make sure that I'm fully focused on that thing. Oh yeah, Deeproot. So yeah, and so, you know, on one hand, is there privilege in that? I mean, a lot of it depends on how you're doing it. Like, for instance, if I take the issue of homelessness in Los Angeles, I could just be like, well, you know, I'm literally going to deal with that 30 minutes a year. You know? And I'm going to do nothing else during that time but only focus on myself. The fact that I'm able to do that, yeah, obviously. But there's a difference between privilege and discipline, you know? There's never been... Oh my god, is it the first time? Is it the first time? Jesus. Prince of Death's assist? See, I knew you could get up here. Maybe there's one of these that we have to go up? Here's how I'm going to go through this. I'm going to explore this sort of ruins area first. Probably starting back this way. We're scheduled to beat the game today. I mean, I'm going to go at my own pace. If we wind up beating the game, terrific. If we don't wind up beating the game, also terrific. This is why I switched to a mana flask. my vitality is insane right now. And with that, let me just go ahead and walk right into the Deeproot. So yeah, I'm just going to put a little pin on that very long rant. Thanks, everyone. Oh, one of these guys. Oh, I'm strong. But yeah, no, to finally finish this rant, I'm a little annoyed at such a large percentage of places that I go to seeming to be like, I have great news. Great news, great. We have taken this website that used to be focused on technology and all we do is talk about shit Elon Musk said that is exclusively the most controversial stuff that we can find. We are a gaming website. We no longer talk about games. We talk about shit that the developers have tweeted for games. You've never heard of the games, you've never heard of them, but they had takes that were pretty insane, huh? I don't know, I just get like so tired of going to sites and participating in things that just it seem like their goal is just to get me to stay there a little bit longer and get mad and include like a stay tuned for more information. I don't want to stay tuned for shit, man. I'm busy. I got stuff to do. Like Elden Ring. Here's where the map was, I think. So, let's see here. I've done a lot of this side here. This is pretty much why I stopped going to gaming websites. Yeah, no, I just like calling people. Go up to someone, oh, hi. Who works in games and be like, what do you think? Didn't know if this is also noticed this on the news. Now we have the reaction of this person to this news. Yeah, I mean, and you've heard me push back against this entire kind of logic, where, you know, you've heard me respond in the following way. People have gone, Sean, what do you think about the fact that there's a game developer who says that Elden Ring has the worst UI UX ever? What do you think about the fact that, you know, hey, there was someone who tweeted something really sexist? What's your reaction? And what I find is that typically it's like 2%, less than that, 0.01% discussion about this event and this thing, and 99.9% people just saying, frankly, the most obvious reaction in the world. The person said something sexist. Well, that's bad. This other person said this other thing that was appalling. Well, that's bad. You know what I mean? And again, I think it's fine to ask. It's fine to have conversations. I'm not trying to say that things like calling out sexism is annoying. Oh, I'm so sick of this. Like, obviously, there's a lot of this that is healthy, important, good, correct. But when, like, in a very literal sense, it's hard to be able to experience any news without, like, this endless, well, this person said this, and that person said that, and this person said this, and that person said this. And I'm sort of like, yeah, what is this news site? What is this? I actually think we're going to get to a point where there's going to be, like, just so many reactions of reactions of reactions of reactions. There's no longer going to be people that say things anymore. No such thing as just first-order content. Can I open this? I'm assuming that what's going to happen is I'm going to work my way around like this, and maybe all the way up here, and this is where a boss fight's going to be or something. I don't know, so that is why we try to carve out a little comfortable spot here for us to just be able to spend some time together, have some nice conversations, go deep talking about interests, talking about things we like, that we care about, being sweet and kind and supportive to each other. A little bit of an oasis from what I feel like is a kind of consistent loop of insanity out there. Alright, so I think I've done a lot of this side. These curses, I think this is, has some to do with viral news, where at the end of the day, delivering ads and upping the value of your site for advertisers. The idea is the more time you spend on that site, the more valuable that site is. The easier it is to serve you an ad. Yeah. And I know. Like, here's my take on that. There's something that's really kind of interesting about working in entertainment. Like, technically, this is entertainment. Much to your surprise. Believe it or not, I'm trying to work in entertainment right now. That's what we're doing, right? And so, there is, like, and I think that the simplest example of this is when I used to do educational StarCraft content. My career started because I made 60 to 120 minute videos explaining how to play StarCraft. Now, I want to stress some things about RTS games. Even as I was going through and explaining how this game's work, how you know, StarCraft games work, no one fucking taught me. In fact, everything that I was sharing in those Day 9 dailies was just shit that I kind of, I don't even want to say I figured it out, but rather it's just how I happen to, it is the lens through which I viewed what was happening in the game enough to be able to win. Because there's a lot of people in StarCraft who are very good players, who would say, yeah, that's literally not even how I think about the game. Like, you have a completely different way of thinking about StarCraft from how I think about StarCraft. Oh, these guys. One of the reasons why I'm really glad I upgraded this Colossal Greatsword, because when guys have shields, you just smash the shields down. But yeah, like, so, it's not like anyone could have said to me, Sean, that's not the right way to teach. Sean, I disagree with your presentation of that topic. There was no understanding of how to present any of the topics in StarCraft, because no one knows how to fucking play those games. Fucking sick. So that's how you get up there, okay? Great. So, like, first of all, no one... So, at the time of me doing shit, no one has any ability to even play StarCraft well at all. Everyone fucking sucks at that game, okay? No one's ever done gaming content long form. And when I was doing that, I mean that very literally. Most sites banned gaming. Including YouTube had a lot of restrictions and bans on gaming. So there was no gaming content to reference. Live streaming was brand fucking new. This is 2009. Like, it's 2 years pre-Twitch. That's when I started. So, like, I'm in this era where, like, I have no references in almost any dimension. But I knew enough about StarCraft, and I'd spent already at that time, you know, like fucking more than a decade mastering one game. I had a lot to say. And, I mean, even though there was no guide, if you spend over 10 years doing one thing, you got a lot to say, and you've thought a lot about how to talk about it, because you've been talking about it a lot with your friends for over a decade. And so there's something in my head that, frankly, there's a ton of people that make content. They just go, yeah, this is going to be good. And you just make it. And, I mean, that's, in a very literal sense, that's just how it works. You just go, yeah, no, I can make this good. And then you just go out there and you make it good. And that's it. Notice how difficult it would be for me to convince someone. Like, let's say I needed to raise some money. I needed to raise some money to make my day 9 daily content. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Fuck out of here. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I always forget that the clouds stack, so. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. Playing too much Dota, huh? Unique auras. So imagine I needed to get an investor. Help me out. Fund my content. And let's say that if it did 1/10 as well as it did do, it would have been fine. It's actually really hard to make the argument, no, 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 trust me, this is going to be good. Like, I mean, you sound crazy, right? It's hard to say, no, 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 like, but I'm going to be delivering really high-quality content. Everyone thinks their quality, the quality of their content is going to be good. Everyone thinks that shit. No one's like, well, we think the content's going to be bad, but you know what? We think it might be okay to have bad content. Like, no one says that shit. They all think their content's going to be good. And so, the point that I'm trying to make, slowly but surely... Oh, well, that's not good. The point that I'm trying to make is that it can be really challenging to communicate it can be really hard to communicate about what is uniquely making your content good. Whereas it's way easier to communicate, hey, our click-through rate was this, and now our click-through rate has gone up to this. Our views were 1,000, and now they're 5,000. So pay us 5 times as much. We'll give you a discount, only twice as much. And, you know, I think that, like, trying to get... trying to get data around games is interesting. And there's some data. It's not to say that all data in games... Oh, my God. Get on the horse. There's some data, like, you know, hey... How many people who start playing this game keep playing this game? It's like actually some interesting and useful data, right? Oh, I see. This is how we get up there. Ah, nice. It's actually interesting. We gave out 1,000 free keys. How many people actually came back and played the game? 100 of them? Wow, 10%? Wow, that's actually pretty good. Like, some data's great and fine, but, like, I feel like there's this idea around data that it is a replacement for the real knowledge, when really it is a simplification. It's a model. Oh, I'm strong. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to arc like this. Back through there, huh? Nylos is a sub yesterday, so why sub anniversary today? Because we have a special way of extracting more cash from you, Nylos. So like a lot of these ruins are sort of just decorative. I'm sorry, I just can't quite find a spot where I want to put my microphone today. So you're not dying to Melania. Congrats, I suppose. Whoop, yeah. I'm pretty sick, man. Pretty fucking sick. Yeah, and I feel like there is this, like, data that is reinforcing data that's reinforcing data without enough people being like, is it good? Alright, what monster's gonna pop out? Smithing Stone 4. Man, I am over-leveled, huh? Ever play Death Stranding? Never did. Fucking nascent butterfly. Aeonian butterfly. Arterially. I can't stand this shit. I think I've mostly gotten my ranting out. I greatly appreciate y'all listening to, putting up with my ranting. It must be so hard to tune in and to listen to me talk, even though that's probably why you're tuning in. But still, I apologize. Alright, so here is where I get down here. Here, can you rant about something new now? Sure, give me a topic to rant about. So, I am kind of surprised to not see any monsters pop out here. Is there another coffin? Oh, dude. Dude. If there's another coffin I can get into. No fucking way. No fucking way. I mean, I still need to go back and get my fucking, Dude, is there literally more underground content? Dude. Where are we going? Holy shit, it's the Einstell River Valley, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey, Patrick Mende, good to see you. So we're at the north tip of the Ainsel River Valley. Right there. Ah, yeah, because it brought me all the way over there. Sick. That's so good. Hey, Patrick Mende, I want to say thank you for the 69 subs yesterday. Nice. I, too, know what sex is. Never gets old. Fantastic. Now you got me thinking about how I hate metrics. Things like physical fitness tests. Oh, shit. The data is always interpreted one way, but there's important context missing. Like, for example, some people are naturally better at athletics. Or maybe the test was on core strength and they applied to endurance. Oh, dude, yeah. The healthiest statement that I ever heard about data was a Mike Morhaime quote. Nice. Where he said that data gets a vote. Data should get a vote. As in, if you're working on a project and you have 3 people who are, like, the core decision makers, right? Like, let's say, you, me, and a friend, like Patrick Mende, who gave 69 subs. You, me, and Patrick are trying to work on something. And we have some opinions. Right? There's 3 of us. We each get a vote. And the data should also get a vote. It's the best framing of it that I've ever heard. Isn't that fucking incredible? Because, for instance, like, alright, well, the data suggests... Let's pick a game at random here. In Elden Ring, the data would suggest that if you make something more accessible, that's better. The easier it is to find all the content, the more plainly and straightforwardly things can be navigated, the better for your product, right? Because more people will be able to fucking play it, right? There's a certain logic to it. Oh yeah, I need to pick this up. But like, a big problem with, entertainment data, or I should say a big problem with data in general, is that data is often internally referential. Which, let's think of a simple data approach. If I am doing a certain strategy in StarCraft, and it is currently my winningest strategy, the data would suggest that I keep doing the same thing, because it has the highest win rate of all the stuff. The data would suggest I keep doing the same strategy over and over and over and over again. And if I'm doing that, it's internally self-referential in that it's virtually impossible to get new gameplay data that's in there. And it's funny because this idea of data being self-referential and restrictive, if there's 5 data points, the data will often find the optimal place within that network, within that web. And, and so, like, how does this affect, say, machine learning algorithms? So machine learning is the idea of, I am going to get this AI to play 1 million games of chess against itself and get better and do whatever. Right? 1 million games it's going to play against itself. Oh shit, I'm in it. Ah! you have to play millions of games against itself to get better. And this sounds good on paper, right? This sounds good on paper. But the problem is, what if the, you know, your AI discovers some sort of... It gets in a rut where it thinks this thing sucks and this thing's really good, and it just starts to fall into those patterns. There's this entire branch in machine learning that you need to really consider, which is called exploration. How do you get your AI to try things it hasn't done and fully explore different ideas? How do you just get it to do something that is outside of what it has been doing at all? And this is actually a really challenging problem. And it's funny because in machine learning, this is often considered the core issue. How do you properly get it to explore the space? Raffle says, going to repost, I think you're referencing a problem that has similar expression, linear optimization. Yeah, I mean, that's one... Everything you're talking about a local maximum is one idea, but it's not necessarily related to a local maximum. It's just incorrect evaluation from having not looked outside of what you have been doing. Local maxima is the idea that I believe I'm at a maxima, and if I go slightly left or right or outside of this behavior, it gets worse, so that convinces me to stay at the maximum. That's different than what I'm talking about, which is I am in any situation where I say, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. What makes me make a decision outside of this set of information that can help me reevaluate this thing? Because local maximums... A local maximum implies the awareness that this is a maximum. That's not the case in most machine learning. No one knows what the maximum is. There's no sense of what the local maximum is because the whole point is that the space hasn't been explored yet. So it's... A local maximum is something. It's just different than what I'm talking about, but related to what we're talking about. You know, and I mean, I'm bringing up this AI machine learning example, which is to just talk about, you know, this like, it is super well known in machine learning. Wow, how do we get the... Where's the enemy? I'm trying to open the map. How do we get this to actually explore all the different ideas and possibilities and stuff that's in this space? By the way, I see Lonely Cracker, so other people trying to use words like say, oh, is it like this? Is like this? It's literally called exploration. I'm using the word correctly. I'm not talking about local maximums, I'm not talking about global maximums, I'm not even talking about maximums, I'm talking about exploration. Oh, don't want to do that. Dodge that? Holy shit. I'm amazing. And so even though this is robustly, thoroughly understood, when it comes to, like, businesses and, like, people working on projects and shit, I mean, I've used this term before. Yeah, where there's this, like, it feels like there's this data-driven stupidity that has cropped up. It's like we have any data that suggests to us anything at all. So we have to stay inside of that data. And for instance, if, like Battle Royale games didn't exist. Dota used to not exist. Auto battlers used to not exist. None of these things fucking existed. It wasn't that data produced those. You know, in the case of Dota, it was, wow, controlling a hero top-down isometric in Warcraft 3 is really fun. Prince of Death's staff? Oh shit, can I have the death one? Nice gifts. Has no skill. Oh, it's actually like a proper staff. I can't even bonk with it. Splinter BC says local maximum like being on a hill in a forest. You cannot see that far down everywhere. But everywhere you go from that point is down, but that does not mean you're at the highest point in the forest. Yeah, basically. I mean, a local maximum is two things. If you have a curve like this, this is the true maximum point. This is a local maximum point. It's the highest thing. If you take some window and zoom in, you know, like if you blow up this area and you do this, then indeed this X is the highest point in that local area, but it's not the global maximum, right? So it's kind of exactly what you'd imagine that it is, but it's often used in conceptual settings like, ooh, I'm doing this really good StarCraft strategy and it seems to be good. You need to switch because your macro sucks. I don't know, I actually feel like really good about it. You're just at a local maximum. This is not the true best strategy, and you're going to be upset if you don't switch. You know, that sort of thing. Again, it's like a conceptual reference. Where's my smithing stone ants, baby? Uh-oh. Shit. But no, I mean, I just feel like there's this, how many more 8s do you need? I think 2 or 3, maybe even 4. Yeah, I think that we're in this era where, like, there's so many people that have gotten so many good results with data. But also, data is concrete. For instance, again, imagine going from Warcraft 3 to Dota. I have this idea to take the combat of Warcraft 3, focus it around the hero, and add a bunch more. Yeah, but what about the base build? Isn't that like a really important part? Well, you know, yeah, no, I understand people like that, but we've replaced base building with more action. Like, you're killing even more creeps. Well, I mean, the data shows that people really like base build. You know, it's so easy to make statements like that. So I just love that quote, that data gets a vote. It's a great quote. It's the healthiest I've ever heard data interpretation portrayed. It never occurred to me that this was not the way out. But it's not the way out. What's your favorite system / content in this game? Not horse parkour. Turn, you fucking idiot! Turn around. I mean, honestly, just exploration. of what some of my like true favorite content was. True favorite systems. I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of trite to say, but I don't know. I think the combat's really good in this game. The exploration and the combat, like the really basic shit. Probably gonna be able to work my way around like this. This area is way the fuck bigger than I thought it was. Okay, nice. Alright, what else are we gonna rant about? I think I need some more ransom of pants. No, you fucking idiot! Oh, I hate the horse. I just wanted to get off the horse, and I leapt from the horse. Alright, this is the game. I am gravity, blade of Melania, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love this. Nylas says, topic for a rant if you're interested. The work you love doing is not profitable, but the profitable is getting boring. What would you say to such a situation? Easy to do what you want, but you have to pay the rent as well. Yeah. Fucking, Nylas, this is such a fucking great question. My god, it makes me think that you'd be an absolutely extraordinary Factorio of content creator. So, God, I forgot I'm gonna have to kill all these bastards again. I am someone that doesn't really believe in the idea of that each thing needs to be everything. Like, I am playing, Elden Ring, which is some of the greatest fun I've had doing anything in a while. Like, not just content creation-wise. I mean, like, as a human being that's looking to have a good life-wise. This has been the fucking bee's knees. But I think that, like, not everything has to be all of it. Like, if I, for instance, take, Can I keep going up to there? Like, every Monday, I do a show called Mostly Walking. I really like Mostly Walking. It's really fun. Viewership's pretty terrible, comparatively speaking. But I really, really like doing that show. And so you know what? I will continue to do that show. But I don't make all of my content that. And similarly, there are a lot of things that this show does not do for me, emotionally speaking. Like, I mean streaming in general. Streaming in a lot of ways feels a little bit like being a masseuse, right? Where I just, I show up, put in some hours, get some cash, go home. Go back, put in some hours, get some cash, go home. There's not as much a feeling of, like, building and growing and improving and all this sort of stuff. Oh, I gotta come back to this in a sec. Drahem, 5,000 bits, says, hey, Dan, I want to share my appreciation and love for the community that you've created. Today I finished the rough draft of my PhD dissertation. A dope little number on phase transitions being a consequence of combinatorial properties. Fuck yeah. And the joy found in your work has really helped. Ever since discovering you in undergrad, your insight analysis is both delighted and entertained. Your Graham's number, yo mama joke still slaps. You've also been a positive influence on maturing as a person. Musings on Kittens and Ninja Stars still has a decent influence on how I think about my own emotions. You focus on developing empathy for others and sharing your personal practical techniques for putting oneself in others' shoes undoubtedly has helped improve both my life and the lives of many others. Thank you for sharing some of your life, your friends with us. Thank you for sharing some of your life and you. 5,000 bits. That's a total 10,000. So I probably would have still got my PhD if you weren't streaming, but you've certainly made the experience a hell of a lot better. Draham, that is such a sweet and touching message. Thank you so much, Draham, and enormous congrats on finishing the PhD thesis. I know it's a rough draft, but man, I know that feeling where I'm like, oh my god, am I done? Am I allowed to say that I am done? Alright, I don't think I can actually go here. Uh-oh. Horse parkour. I see. Draham, an incredible and enormous thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. Feels nice. Feels nice. Brazen Quail with the 5 gifted subs. Thanks, Brazen Quail. You're all lovely and darling sweethearts. And let me talk about why I don't like streaming. No, there's a lot of interconnected things happening. Like, obviously, I like streaming. Streaming's really fun. There's a lot of really good things about streaming. You beauty babies are obviously the best part. Getting a chance to connect to people around shared interests and shared joys is incredibly important to me, incredibly meaningful. Really? Wow. Well, you know, like, there's a lot of interest I have in, say, programming problems. Or working on little game prototypes. Because I'd love to make another game, work on a game someday. I'd love to do that. So, like, how do I balance between, hey, if I wanted to go do some game stuff, I wouldn't really be making any money compared to what I'm doing with Day 9 TV. Day 9 TV does pay the bills. It seems kind of hard to do. Oh my gosh. And for me, the way that I think about things is I don't really use these words when I'm thinking about my stuff. But I kind of have like an A plan, a B plan, and a C plan. Where, for instance, Day 9 TV is sort of like the A plan, right? It's the A task. It is giving me money. It has its own set of satisfactions, but let's imagine, I mean, y'all have actually seen me in this situation. Man, I am not enjoying the game I am playing very much. Hearthstone, that I think overall is an incredible game, I was at a point where I was streaming that game a lot, and I just, like, kind of felt like I think I was done with the game. On a personal level, I didn't really want to play it that much anymore. Not because I thought the game sucked, but just because I thought, again, I was done with the game. It would be as if I was 2,500 hours deep into Elden Ring. That was really stressful, trying to figure that out. Or, you know, with StarCraft, my literal favorite game ever. Like halting that content. Stopping that content felt like really existential for me. Because I was like, this is really important to me. I want to make content. You know, I'm not that interested in doing, you know, Day 9 Daily number 8 fucking 100. wonder if I can actually get up there. I wasn't viewing this as navigable terrain, but it might actually be. So again, I like to think of like, okay, streaming is the A task, right? And maybe more accurately, streaming Magic the Gathering, or Elden Ring, or like a major release title. That's an A task. The B task is the types of experimental things I do with the stream every other week. Or in the case of Elden Ring, bailing on Magic to play a whole bunch of Elden Ring and constantly trying to check in on the viewership and saying to myself, okay, if this doesn't pan out, you know, that's all right. If it doesn't pan out, that's all right. What I'll do is I'll just go back to the A plan, right? I'm doing this A plan and this B plan kind of at the same time. And then I also have, like, a C plan, which is, hey, we're working on a little game prototype, and if this thing turns out to be hot shit, you know, maybe I'll make that the A plan. You know what I mean? Alright, I think I'm pretty good with this upper area. I mean, I didn't really find anything up here, which kind of surprised me, but, you know. What are you going to do? And so, you know, like, and I like this example of, like, mainly doing Magic, experimenting with other things. And every once in a while, sometimes, boom, oh my god, one of the experimental things that I thought was going to be really, really fun for me, it was really fun, and it turned out to be good for viewership, great. But I still have that main A plan, which is like, I got my content that's like my foundation that I'm not going to spend 40 or 60 hours a week doing, I'm going to spend like 20 to 30 hours a week doing. You know, or when I basically was in grad school. You know, I had, like, the grad school was the main thing. I was also working on an indie game, which was the second thing. I was also doing streaming, which was the third thing. Just kind of doing a little mix of things. You know, putting a lot of popcorn kernels in the pan and seeing which one pops. I think that I would be in super trouble if I was trying to make every single bit of content do everything for me. That's a huge ant, isn't it? Or a huge spider. Or a huge dragon or something. Well, let's one-shot it with the Naginata. And because, like, you know, again, if I take the game dev thing, sometimes there will just be, like, like, with the game dev thing, maybe I'm, like, I'm not doing this, but let's imagine now we're working on, oh, what's a fucking simple game? A mobile puzzle game. And I was fiddling with it, and fiddling with it, and fiddling with it, and fiddling with it, and fiddling with it, you know. And maybe I would spend, maybe 1 week, Brit's out of town, got nothing to do on the weekend, so I spent all day Sunday fiddling. Maybe on another week, I just spend an hour in the morning here, an hour in the morning there, another hour on the weekend. I'm kind of doing it on and off and thinking about it idly. Nothing's gone anywhere with my puzzle game. But what's nice is that if over the course of 4 weeks, I just did a bunch of rote, bland, straightforward streaming that wasn't that compelling to me, I also had a month where I just kept imagining and thinking and fantasizing about how awesome this thing could be. And that sort of shit really keeps me going. And really keeps me astoundingly motivated. Alright. Queen Angela. I mean, this has to come to life at some point. This is some sort of Deathroot monster, huh? Oh, dude, that is fucking so good. Is this really not a boss? One more time. Content. Dude, Lionel the Lionheart. I'm so fucking cheesy, dude. I know. Also why I really like the Ruins Greatsword in these types of fights, because, like, I mean, I know this is super fucking cheesy. I'm real curious about this teleport, though. I just want to take a moment to appreciate this giant twisted face. Because, you know, if you turn your head sideways, there's nose, nose, eye, mouth. This does not really look normal. But anyways, yeah. And there was a question, I believe, from Rhino above. I'll come to that in just a second. Because I thought it was a really good one. You know, to sort of close this out, I think that whenever I have a main thing that feels like it is my upkeep, and then I have several, like 2 to 3 other auxiliary backup thingies happening, maybe interesting content that I think could maybe be awesome one day, maybe a game prototype I really hope can turn into, like, something awesome someday. Fuck you. There's all these twisted, gnarled roots, and then there's some sort. This is like a death tree or some shit. You like this tree? Is maybe this Erdtree actually? Because this Erdtree isn't here; it's actually up there. And there's some slight misalignments, right? Because here's the roots, and then here's the Elden Throne here, with the actual tree being here. Anyways. You know, when I have these backup tasks and backup plans and little prototypes and other little fiddly things, even if the number of hours I'm spending on those is small, it makes me feel hopeful about the future, which I think is also part of the important thing for me. Like, it's fine if it's not making money. The fact that I feel like it could, and in the meantime, I am making money with Day 9 TV to make sure I can pay the bills, feed the cats. There's your Prince of Death, huh? Alright. Where is this gonna take me? So, where do we think this leads to? What? No fucking way. I feel like this area is different. Is this door like not open or something? So I remember this breathtaking view, right? I don't actually remember how this linked together. Alright, Rhino, I promise I haven't forgotten your question. I'm just like... sort of taken aback. So I remember coming in through this Capitol Rampart. Oh, I see. Holy shit. So, I see. So what this means is that if you were someone that maybe, like, I've heard that a typical path is you do Summa Limgrave, you get stuck at Margit, you go down, you do this peninsula. You then do Liurnia, and then you make your way back and do Caelid. And if you do that, you've not yet gone up the Grand Lift of Dectus, right? This is the entire world of the game. Which means that you, by defeating Radahn, you can make your way through Nokron. You can go to the Great Waterfall Basin, get dumped here into Deeproot Depths, work your way through, and then when you go to the Prince of Death's throne, it teleports you right here to the capital, and that's a completely alternative way to get into the capital. I mean, isn't that incredible? So there's a potential path where you never even make your way up the Grand Lift of Dectus. because for me, I didn't make it up the Grand Lift of Dectus, not till later. I went up the ruin-strewn precipice, sprinted in here, and then wandered up and did Landell Capital. And I did that, I believe, before I even beat Radon. I got to Nokron quite late in the game, I think. I don't remember. See, this is the thing that I'm picking up on, right? Here's the Prince of Death. This is underneath the capital city. And then we have the Frenzied Flame Prescription underneath the capital city. So we have Death. We have Frenzy. Or I don't know if Frenzy is related to Blight, but it could just be some sort of weird fire chaos shit. We also have the Forsaken Depths, where Mog was imprisoned. Or Mog's Omen. I don't really know the difference between the Omen and the person is, but whatever. Mog was down there. There's all these other forces that are very literally under the thumb of the capital, underneath. The nameless, eternal city. Beautiful. So we have this area to clear now. Brilliant. Alright, so let's actually answer this question from Rhino. Where is it? Oh no, did it get covered up? Rhino, can you paste your message again? I'm really sorry, I just kept getting distracted. Where's Rhino? Does anyone have Rhino's question here? It was R-H-Y-N-O. I don't even know if Rhino's still with us. Rhino says, yeah, one stack. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I can only own so hard in so many ways at once, you know what I'm saying? Ah, here it is. Ryan says, Dan, do you think Elden Ring is getting a critical pass from some people because everyone is just so jaded from predatory monetization that people are grateful to have a game where you pay for it and get a complete game? So, okay. Says, oh, hey, I was retyping the question, but he got it. Yeah, there it is. Fucking look at it. Great modding team. Thanks, Collision. So, I am a big believer that, especially when it comes to discussing really tough concepts, really abstract and subtle, nuanced things, or even just big topics, that small changes in language really matter. And specifically, do you think it gets a pass? And by the way, I'm not necessarily trying to, again, call out you for, you know, the use of your language, right? You pose it to me, and then I can help, you know, think of different ways in which to look at the language, and then we actually get to have a really good discussion as opposed to you putting in a bunch of work, asking, and then we have a less interesting discussion. You don't get the opportunity to fully sift through all the language. Oh, fuck. But I think the reason that Elden Ring is successful is because pure and simple, plainly, clear as day, let's not overcomplicate shit. The game, no fucking way I can go up there. Pure and simple, this game is fucking good. That's it. That is 99% why it is, well, 99 might be a little strong. We'll call it 95%. Why it is so successful. when I say successful, I mean why so many people... Oh, shit. So strong. Most of why a game is widely considered to be good. That's a better way I want to say it. Why they're widely considered to be good is just that the game is fucking unbelievable. The game has incredibly compelling, solid combat. Solid combat with a huge array of different weapons, and a huge array of different spells, and a huge array of different playstyles. The gameplay is magnificent. And then also, what's in the fucking box? Teleporter traps. Crystal tree helm, crystal tree armor. And these things are fucking heavy too. Like, look at it. Here's crystal tree helm, crystal axe helm, tree sentinel helm. Like, I mean, it's 6.6, and I'm wearing literally the heaviest thing in the fucking game. But I mean, still, that's like beast as fuck. So I think the number one reason why the game is doing well, as in people are receiving it well, is that the combat's great. The exploration is unbelievable. This game is fucking huge. If there were no such thing as mobile microtransaction-laden predatory games, as people put them, if those didn't exist, you would be hard-pressed to find even one other game that has the sheer amount of content and quality that this has that's been released any time in the last 10 years. I mean, like, really, let's just ask ourselves a question. Ignore anything that isn't sold as 60 bucks worth. Or hell, even include all these games as service games. Include them all. Does anything have anywhere near as much content in it as this game does? I mean, StarCraft 2 has a shitload of content. Yeah, maybe Witcher 3. Game audio's overpowering my speaking voice. Good! Yeah, actually, I need to move this to a better location anyways. I don't know, I was getting really uncomfortable with where it was, so I've just been messing around a bunch. So I think that, like, you know, oh yeah, Skyrim maybe. There's just so few games that have, in a literal sense, as much content as this one does. And so, are people tired of predatory games? Sure. Sure. I'm sure a lot of people are just like, oh, glory be. Wow, another looter shooter games as service. Wow, I'm so tired of people explaining to me, yeah, no, you have no idea. This is our take on the Battle Royale genre. Oh, you have a roadmap? Incredible. I can't wait to hear more about this fucking roadmap. Well, like, there's a lot of things to be tired about. But I think more so than anything to do with more than anything, I just think it's really, really high quality. Now, how much of an impact do I think that the fact that people have been wanting a really high quality, content-rich game? what do I think that actually meaningfully did in terms of the critical review of this game? I really don't. You little fucker. I think it's relatively minor. I think irrelevant is a little bit strong of a word, but I think it would have at most a 5% impact. Because I'll be honest, there's countless other indie games, AAA release games that come out and people go, oh. Oh yeah, alright, well this sucks. And that's it. So I think that, like, I'm going to state just a general observation that I don't actually think you're doing this, Rhino, but this is something that I see, which is just because 5 things are happening in games doesn't mean that they are connected or have anything to do with each other. And this got beaten into my head pretty early, which is, if you are the creator in entertainment, you have a lot of stuff that you're thinking about all the time. You have all these complex models and stories and things that you're tracking. Oh, fuck. I thought I got him. You have all these different stories and technologies and all this shit. And you know what? By and large, customers, they don't give a shit at all. They just want the game to be good. That's done. Plain and simple. And so just because, like, everything you're saying is true. Players, there exists a lot of people that are very, very tired microtransaction games. There are a lot of people that are really sick and tired. Oh, I thought. All right, who's ready to see some sick horseplay? Oh! Esports. Oh, get out of here. Oh. There are people that think that no good MMOs will ever come out again. There are players that wish that there were more platformers like Mario. There are players that wish that games were easier. There's players that wish that games were harder. There's people that just want something good on mobile. People are just like, man, could someone just make a good VR game? And just because... Oh, shit. Just because these things exist does not mean that in any way they are connected together. So, for instance, I would not agree with the statement. Well, I think one of the reasons why Elden Ring is doing well is that a lot of people are looking for good VR games. And this is the closest thing to a cool VR experience without being a VR game. In the same way that I think it might be a little bit of an overstep to say, well, people are tired of microtransaction mobile games. It's just that most of the time people don't really have that complex of evaluations. They're just like, oh, is this good? It is? Great. Oh, did someone block? Good job. Deadmite says, it'll be interesting to see Diablo Immortal's impact. I mean, I've heard Diablo Immortal it's good. I hear it's solid. Am I going to play it? Probably not. I mean, if I wanted to play an ARPG, I would play Path of Exile. I actually kind of think that ARPGs and looter games now have this issue in the modern there are so many games in the space that have so much friggin' content in there that it's just like, yo, if we want to make something to compete with this, we're going to need to make a lot of content. Yeah, everyone who I know who has played the game has said exclusively positive things about it. Save for one thing. The game is regularly like, hey, you haven't spent any money and you're having a good time. Would you like to spend money? That would annoy me. Hey, Tordellini. I see you here and see you have a message waiting for me, too. Ooh. This guy's like, nothing's happening. Didn't hear a thing, you know? Fucking doesn't have ears. Shit, wrong button. Come on, you bastards. See, I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, we're going to be entering into the era where, like, you're no longer restrained by storage memory. Oh, hi. Where you can just get a really good quality game on the phone. Not limited by hardware. Sure. Dodge this, you bastard! But I mean, I think at the end of the day, just making a good game is, like, quite hard. You know what's even more amazing to me than this game being good? The fact that FromSoft, in the last 13 years, has released 7 amazing games. Isn't that insane? Isn't that incredible? Demon's Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro. And then Elden Ring. Yeah, it's insane. Oh my god, Fear Dragon! Ruvy, whom everyone lovey. Fear Dragon just raided, man. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Fear Dragon 64, who is full-time esports as of, what's the day? June 3rd. How is day 3 of being full-time? Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe how insanely amazing FromSoft is. Fear Dragon says, it was fantastic. Day 0, June 1st, I was still technically working. Ah, I see. So I haven't been to this place yet. But I'm almost done with Deeproot Depths, baby. Where'd your soul feet go, baby? What the fuck? Where are they? I think I don't care. I think that's fine. You know, I think I'm good. I think I did it. I think I'm just calling it in Deeproot Depths. I think we've done it. Let's go over here. Then we're gonna go to the consecrated snowplows next. Rune table ho. Probably could level up here. Lay out your arms then. So close.
Greeting, are you here for spirit chief?
Well, I took you've no matter. It's all lay out your arms then.
Why am I here? I had a clear reason to be here. Why am I here? I had a distinct reason to be here. You need to level up. Well, whatever. Whatever. Any y'all got any quests for me? Yeah, no, I have no memory of what I'm supposed to... Something to do with Deeproot Depths? I couldn't tell you. It's like opening the fridge and forgetting why. Right? Oh my god. Hug me.
Would you like me to?
Dude, like, what is this all about? Because remember, all this did last time was it just gave me this fucking minus 5% bullshit. And I've gone up to her a bunch of times.
You are so...
Baldekin's blessing. I don't know.
Good day to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, is it a tool? Yeah, see, it gives health down, man. You know, whatever. I'll consume it later. I don't know. I feel like there was something that I wanted to do here. Oh, I remember what it is. I remember what I'm doing. I remember. We killed Mog at the end of the stream last time. What is the Mog weapons? Fuck yeah, I'm getting that shit. Oh, thank God. That was a weird brain fart. I'm never known to brain fart. Yeah, nihil, uno, dulo, fulo. Hey, I've killed more people. What do you think? What do you think, guy? Oh, the secret map. Oh, whoa! Holy shit, Gideon Offnir. You've been fucking holding out on me. Look at all this shit. Whoa. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Alright.
Ah, I see you've laid your hands on the other secret medallion. I'm glad to see my counsel has borne fruit. But the honor of the deed is yours alone. You've made more of yourself than Ensha has.
Fucking
Now,
Ensha.
more importantly, I suppose you'd like to know that me too, my friend.
Alright.
There are 4 more demigods yet to be located.
4 more?
Mikola of the Erdtree, the unalloyed.
Did that?
His twin, Melania, the undefeated swordswoman.
Did that?
Luna Princess Rani, daughter to Renala.
Did that, I think.
The one only known as the Lord of Blood. Rani is said
Nice.
to have cast aside
Nice,
her
nice, nice.
great
That's
ring.
where I'd heard Lord of
So
Blood
leave it
before, man.
behold. We seek the whereabouts of the remaining 3 shard bearers. If you should learn, I'll trade your findings for a hidden treasure. We both desire it as such. Ah, so the secret medallions led you to the land of the Erdtree. I'd expect to find Melania there. She who fought Radahn to a standstill. Well, if the scarlet rot hasn't eaten her away completely. But with the Erdtree as it is, I suppose Mikola must already be. Ah, my apologies. The information you shared is of great value. As promised, your reward. A secret right, known only to me. You are a true fellow.
Frasbill says, just joining, has Day9 encountered Fortisax? Is that a... Oh, the Black Flame's protection? Is this one of these fucking Godskin flame boys? Good lord. Frostbill says, if I encountered Fortisax, if that's the... No, what was the name of the lightning dragon? All dragons' names end in an X. There's Ferrovax and Fortisax and... Oh yeah, Lanceax. Yeah.
So, the Erdtree, now but a husk. I heard speculation Mikola embedded himself in the Erdtree. But, before he could finish, someone cut the tree open and absconded with his infant form. Indeed. It seems those words held weight. How vexing. That they all... Perhaps the Queen's sorrow was just... Ah. My apologies. The information you share... A secret. You are a true fellow.
Alright.
Oh, so that's where the so-called Lord of Blood was hiding himself, eh?
I mean, kind of.
A fitting little squat for that deluded maniac to bleat about the revival of his precious dynasty, while he turns our fellow tarnished into bloody fingers.
Literally.
Let him stay there. That way, his delusions will remain as they are. But if what I've heard is wrong... Ah, information you... And it is a wondrous... You are a true...
Favor's cookbook.
Ah, I see. So Mikola was with the Lord of Blood after all. That is some fine intelligence indeed. With it, the final clue has been brought into the light. One of the last few pieces of the round table. I need to put everything together. As promised, the last of this...
It's a spell you're probably not smart enough to know.
Well, what is it now?
That's it? Very well. Good Royalty says, I know this is kind of repeating what I said earlier in my sub-message, but thanks for always having such an interesting stream and chat. I always seem to walk away from here learning something new, completely unrelated to the game being played. LOL. Well, I do go on some tangents. Tangents and tangents. Alright, there's fucking nothing else here. Unless... Wait, there's that one area down here. I want to check. He's the all-knowing, not the all-showing. Yeah. I'm gonna get this lady. Oh.
You must find respect for the flame and can
Okie dokie, smoky pokey. So we still have the War Dead Catacombs to finish. I've still not journeyed through this area. I've done pretty much everything that I can envision doing. I've actually not explored this area either, which is so funny to me. Yo, Renala. Renala, what do you think, man? What do you think? Show me what you got.
Art thou now? Be not.
Fuck you. Alright. Oh, there's also this fucking puzzle that I don't know how to do. That might also not get finished. Alright.